NWO action, number 1 versus number 3. Happy to present this one to you. Didn't know that this was coming around so quick, but it is here now. And it's an absolute banger. These are the two teams that are still unbeaten now in Season 6 of NWO. We got the Wisconsin Badgers kicking off here at home. Camp Randall Stadium, everyone on their feet. Love those red and gold uniforms. What's up, Lou?
Should be an intense battle tonight. Both these coaches have their teams in top shape. These are the teams nobody else wants to face right now.
No, I mean, Miami's been slaughtering. I think they're 30-2 since they took over. 30 wins, 2 losses. Unbelievable home streak, but Wisconsin has turned their program around like no other team in the NWO. They started off like in the 70s or 80s somewhere, and they're all in the high 90s now. Offensive, defensive, overall. You got talent everywhere, and we're going to see it on full display right here. Coach Brusoe and his defense on the field right here, right away. And the crowd is already rocking. Van Dyke from under center fakes a handoff to Chaney. Now looks for him in the flat. Now looks deeper, and he's going to be brought down for a sack. 9-yard loss, 2nd and 19.
Yeah, Mark Scott making his presence known immediately.
Thanks for helping me out with that name, partner. Mark Scott. I guess I got to remember that name. Mark Scott. Making his impact right away. Absolutely a fan favorite here now. I think those uniform sales are just going to go flying off the rack with plays like that.
Those pants are sharp.
They are. They absolutely are. So we got a little trips bunch there. Van Dyke still under center. LaFleur over on the left. 5-step drop, plants a foot, delivers over the middle on a crossing route. And that's going to be Keyshawn Smith. Keyshawn Smith in an 8-yard reception gets some of that back that they lost. Quiets the crowd temporarily. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, good job to get a chunk back. I don't want to say 3rd and 11 is manageable for anyone, but with what we've seen from this Miami team, they can get it.
Yeah.
Van Dyke does make that look as routine as anyone.
And this is what the Badgers want, you know. Play defense in an advantageous position. But that's Gucci LaFleur and man-on-man coverage with no safety help. They're in a trail position. They're not going to catch him. He's across the goal line. And in one play, they go 76 yards for a quick strike.
Yeah, that speed of Gucci LaFleur is hard to match up against. Great play by the Miami offense, with kind of backed up.
Gotta credit the coach, Revamp TV of the Miami Hurricanes on that one. I don't know if anybody runs that route quite as crispy as him. I don't know if it's Van Dyke's skill, Revamp's timing, Gucci LaFleur's skill, or everything involved. That was a big-time play. And just like that, Miami's on the board by 7. Big kickoff right there, not going to be returnable. The Badgers are going to get it at the 25-yard line. They're led out by Montrell Coles. Montrell Coles, sophomore, outstanding dual threat, but he wins from the pocket, and he only scrambles when he needs to. And he's got new targets in here this year, but he's still got the big boy in the backfield, Braylon. Is it Allen? Braylon Allen? Am I right?
Allen, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Braylon Allen, 240-pound bruiser right there. Right behind Coles. Coles, 1-step drop, fires quickly, and a shoestring tackle is going to keep the freshman Lawson from going the distance. We almost saw back-to-back house calls.
Yeah, and I mean, I know both of these teams can be explosive, but I would have expected maybe more of a little bit of a defensive matchup coming in. You know, Miami's defense has been very tough.
Yeah.
The Badgers have been stout, so
I feel like we're going to get it. We saw it on that first play by the Badgers with that huge sack. All right, we got trips to the left, tight end with the hand down on the right. Coles gets the shotgun snap, hands it off to Allen, breaks the first tackler, and is going to be tackled for a 3-yard gain up the middle in between tacklers, and the ball's already at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I have anything to say, it's stick around. There's going to be something for everybody in this matchup.
And getting back to the play that we just saw a moment ago, Miami's defense also, on the elite level too. What they like to do is generate a lot of pressure, but with the one-step drop, Coles was able to drop that in the bucket to his receiver, nearly past the entire defensive backfield. Right here on a new play, got a couple wides to the left, one to the right. And they're going to drop deep dig route right there. In-breaking route at a 13-yard clip right there. Montrell Coles is 2 for 2, 35 yards, up to the 36, 1st and 10 Badgers.
Yeah, that was Skylar Bell on the reception. And Coach Brusoe loves his dig routes.
Well done. And you got to credit the pass protection from the Badgers on that one. A lot of upperclassmen there, a lot of strength, a lot of awareness. Those guys know how to get it done, and they well protected Coles on that deeper developing play. Empty backfield right here. You got 4 wides. And they're going to run right behind the tight end. And a shoestring tackle is going to keep Coles from getting nothing more than a great 8-yard gain.
Yeah, Montrell Coles is looking really wily behind center today.
Yeah, he is a legitimate dual threat quarterback, but just the program that he's in and the style and the coaching that he's getting, he wins mostly from the pocket, but he has explosive legs when need be. Hand off to Allen. Got a blocker in front of him. Somehow a man catches him. I don't understand how. That might have been Furious Johnson. He's a rated 98 overall. He's a stud. If it's not him, I don't know how they caught up to him. I thought that was going to go the distance. I saw that blocker in front of him. I thought that was going to roll. But they're down at the 12, 1st and 10, Badgers.
Yeah, great play. Miami's defense has some serious speed, so Braylon Allen, not a burner by any stretch. But great big run there.
Yeah, and they've just had productive plays over and over on this possession so far. You got 3 by 1 right here. And Allen behind his pads making a move, showing the agility for a big man. And that's going to be another 8-yard carry. Ball at the 3, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, great job to cut to the left there. I don't think that was designed. I think he took the hole that the offensive line gave him.
Yeah, the Miami defender stepped up and hung on for dear life. I thought he might have dragged him with him still hanging on him across the goal line. But as it is, saved a touchdown. Wisconsin getting very close, threatening and dangerous. Cole's going to run into his own man. It's not going to matter. Tackle from behind, but in the end zone, Coles with the 3-yard TD, and with the extra point, we should have a tie ball game.
Nice job by Coles. He latches onto his guard there and knows right when to peel off and get into the end zone.
Here's a snap, hold, and kick, and they're all good. 7-7 ball game.
Coles says they'll never see me behind this guard.
He ran right behind his guy. I thought he might go down if there was any little contact, but Miami caught a little bit off guard with that call. And Coles capped off a great methodical touchdown drive. Big plays in the air, big plays on the ground, good balance between run and pass. You had some upperclassmen making plays. You had some lowerclassmen making plays. It's really, really good to see the Wisconsin Badgers offense supplementing the defense, and they needed it because Miami came back from being in the hole early with that monster play to LaFleur. And this is only going to be the 4th play from scrimmage for the Hurricanes, and we're going to see another great matchup right here. Van Dyke's going to trot everybody out with 4 wides. Chaney on his right hip. Van Dyke making a couple adjustments from the shotgun position. Here's the snap. Hand off to Chaney between the tackles. And Johnson, number 52, is going to tackle him down. But Chaney, so fast and explosive, gets a 7-yard carry. Ball to 32.
Yeah, and it's probably the first time all year that we've waited until the second series to call Chaney's name.
Absolutely. Usually he gets more work than anybody on the field. Last I checked, Miami's leading receiver and runner from the halfback position, and currently the number one vote getter for the Heisman Trophy.
Mm-hmm. Understand he's working on his pilot's license. I think he got some hours in on the flight over here.
Yeah. So we got offset eye here, fullback right behind the tight end. Look like a 5 to 7 step drop, and they're going to deliver over the top. Gucci LaFleur's not going to get it. It's going to be intercepted by number 32. Great catch, and he's still on the run, bringing it all the way past the 40-yard line. And Wisconsin, after the great defensive stop, is going to have outstanding offensive field position.
What a play by number 32. That's Paul Harrison. And he just reads that ball, and he jumps at the perfect time and snatches it away from Gucci LaFleur.
And not only did he take it away from Gucci LaFleur, but Van Dyke is an incredibly accurate passer. And I don't know if he sold that one short or Gucci LaFleur needs to come back for that and take it away from the defender, but he did a great job. And the return really set them up nicely. They're probably already at field goal range, but you know they're hunting for more. After a couple pre-play shifts, Cole's breaking out of the pocket. Really? Oh, and he's using those legs across the sticks, past the yellow line, 11-yard carry. Did not even get hit. Heavy pursuit and did not get hit.
Really nice play with his feet there, Cole's using him to get away from that defender. Pucker factor was probably at 10 or 11 on that one, if you're on the Wisconsin sideline.
Looks like it might have been a looks like that, but unbelievable jerseys right there. But looked like it might have been a little bit of a broken play. Not sure if the quarterback was supposed to keep that one or if the halfback was supposed to keep that one. But going back to that first down play, Cole's breaking out and making that with his legs. Got away from DarkSpecta, the defensive end right there. Look for that matchup to be around all day. Let's see who wins round 2, 3, 4, 5, however many they go. Coles, Jackson, and then also Allen. Here's the snap. Looking over the middle, finds his target. It's a 2-yard reception for Skylar Bell. 3rd and 8 now.
Yep, just making the easy pass, staying positive, just trying to get any completion he can here.
And quick, decisive reads is what I'm seeing. Maybe part of the game plan here for the Badgers. Empty set here. Got a tight end to the left. Cole's making an adjustment over there to the strong side, right side. Dropping way back. Finding an out route. That's right on top of 9 Cloud, who had the inside position. But the speed to the outside beat him, and a perfect pass from Coles is going to move the sticks. Ball at the 15-yard line, just a little bit over a minute here in the opening quarter. Crowd really loving it.
Yeah, crowd wants this score here.
Threw it on a defender that is known for his up and down play. A lot of men near the box right now in the line of scrimmage. QB's keeping it. Has an envoy of 1. Touchdown Coles with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day.
Coles just looks like the smartest player on the field right now.
And it's a 14-7 game. The number 3 Wisconsin Badgers, undefeated on the year, has Miami seemingly right where they want them.
Badgers able to score off of the interception. That's going to be a critical thing. You know, scoring off turnovers is humongous in this game.
Gucci LaFleur couldn't handle the catch last time. Takes it out of his end zone. Is not going to reach the 20-yard line. 23-yard return. Ball's going to be spotted at the 17. Interesting to see what Miami will do adjustment-wise. Took a big shot on what I believe was a first or second down. I don't think it was necessary. I don't think that was necessarily an arm punt. I thought they were just trying to throw a deep ball to one of their deep targets, and didn't work out. Hand off to Cheney, looking off tackle, and Johnson's going to tackle him down for the second time today. That's going to be a 1-yard carry.
Yeah, the Hurricanes are going to have to figure something out here. See if they can get back to moving the ball. Hopefully, for them, the Badgers haven't taken away all the momentum. But the band is playing. They're certainly fired up.
A lot of energy in this building right now. Van Dyke dropping back, finding the fullback angle route. Khalil Brantley with a clutch 7-yard reception. It's going to bring it to 3rd and 2, but I don't think they're going to get this one off. They're scrambling to the line of scrimmage, and that's the last second. That's the whistle of the first quarter. We're going to change sides here. Crowd is on their feet.
3rd and manageable. Hustling down to the other end. We're going to get we're going to get this first playoff soon.
Not an empty seat in the house. Ball at the 26. 3 more quarters of this action. Number 3, number 1. Only one team will remain unbeaten after this one. Potentially a preview to an NWO championship, as both of these teams represent different conferences.
Mm-hmm.
With the 4 wides from under center, Van Dyke finds the halfback, Cheney. Johnson's going to bring him down, but that's an 11-yard pickup, and it's going to move the sticks. Nice play there. Getting a little momentum here is Miami.
Yeah, and as Cheney gets going, we know the offense has gone as Cheney's gone for much of the season.
Yeah, for much of 3 seasons, Cheney has been very, very productive and consistent. Last couple of weeks, we've seen it a little bit less consistent. However, he's ever so dangerous with that speed, elusiveness, agility, and power. And he's going to carry the ball out past the sticks and all the way past the 30-yard line. Clipping is going to bring it back. Keyshawn Smith flagged. Ball's going to be brought back to the 37-yard line. It's going to remain a 1st and 10. And we're going to start here on the right hash. I formation. Van Dyke with the play fake. Looks, fires, finds out Pimpchino for an 18-yard reception. Toe tapping his way right before the sidelines. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Yeah, Pimpchino must be going to those ballet classes they signed him up for as a joke, because he has had some fancy toe taps the last few weeks.
Van Dyke seemingly shrugged off or wiggled off that interception from earlier. He's 5 for 6 right now. Oh, and he's hit as he throws right there. Paul Harrison is giving some sort of credit for here, but there was a unblocked defender screaming from the edge right in his face as he was trying to release that ball.
Yeah, I wonder if that was Mark Scott again. I think Paul Harrison's the one that was in the area as that ball bounced in.
I got to watch Mark Scott a little bit more closely.
I'm not even sure which one he is. He could be, it could be any guy on that defensive line.
3-by-1 look here. Van Dyke surveying. Here comes a man right towards him. I think they got him, and they do got him. Back all the way past the 40. That's a 16-yard loss. And now UW is going to have a major advantage right here with a 3rd and 26. Miami facing a monstrous task at converting this first down. Ball all the way back to the 39.
This time it was Bobby Nash who tracked down Tyler Van Dyke in the backfield. Great play.
So far, the tale of the tape to me has been the pressure that Wisconsin's been able to apply and the protection that Wisconsin's been able to provide. Oh, and that's a pick thrown right into traffic. Number 8 brings that down in the middle of the field. Avani Jones with the INT ball at the 49, and the crowd is loving it as the Wisconsin Badgers take over on their 3rd possession on the day with outstanding field position for the 2nd time in a row following an INT.
Yeah, great play. Fantastic coverage.
Handoff to Allen. Met right as he got the ball. Going to be a 3-yard loss right there. You know who with the TFL.
Yeah, backs them up definitely into Badger territory.
Home crowd really disappointed with that one. But they're playing with the house's money right here as they have forced their 2nd turnover consecutively. With the chance to apply a little bit of pressure here to Miami. Huff right there in the middle. Specta now under user control. Cole's breaking away out of the pocket, and he's going to throw it away. Probably a smart decision there.
Downfield. Really smart decision. I believe that's his 1st incompletion of the day.
Yeah, it looked like he was coming out of the pocket slowly as Specta seemed to apply some interior pressure right there. And then he broke out real fast, tried to set up and look downfield, and probably a good thing to throw it away. It's going to be a 3rd and long, though, 3rd and 13. Got an empty set here, 1 tight end left. Looking, firing, comeback route, 9 Cloud with the up and down gameplay and the step back, the spin move. That's not really going to matter. What is going to matter is that 9 Cloud being burnt earlier and coming through and getting the pick right back for the Miami offense. And that's the best thing that you could have if you're a Hurricane, is getting the ball right back after a turnover.
Yeah, precisely what they needed. Get their offense back on the field. You know, they need to march down and get a score and tie this ball game up. They know that. They're the #1 team in the nation for a reason.
Single back right here. Counter left, Cheney. Oh, a nice tackle right there. He's had many of them. Johnson once again. It's going to bring down Cheney after a 5-yard carry. Every single time Cheney has gotten the ball, only 3 times so far, Johnson's been there.
It's like his shadow.
Not easy to play as Donald Cheney's shadow. I don't think I'd ever be cast in that role.
No, that's a tough one.
Van Dyke and Cheney share the backfield, 4 wides. Few adjustments being made. Restrepo in motion. Cheney gets the carry. Fighting his way through. I think he's got it. Yep, that's a 5-yard carry. Looked like Cheney was originally trying to go through the tackles and then hit the softness on the right side, stumbled forward for a little bit more, and ball's going to be at the 38. 4 minutes left in the first half. Big first down there. Sustains the drive, gets the defense off of the field, keeps them off of the field, and lets Wisconsin stew a little bit more about that interception that they had. But this defense by the Badgers definitely has the possibility to create more of what they've already done. Van Dyke already with 2 picks in the first half. Handoff to Chaney, and he's bottled up once again. That's going to be a 3-yard loss.
Yeah, the 3 Badgers there to meet him in the backfield. They're bringing it today.
Lou, ever since that interception where they try to throw it to Gucci LaFleur on that deep ball, they haven't looked deep again. And if they have, I think it might have resulted in a sack.
Yeah, I mean, the timing hasn't really been there because of the pressure. So I think they're kind of working the short and mediums a little bit more and trying to break one after.
Let's see if they do that. Wisconsin pressing on the outside. Restrepo in motion. Fakes it to him. Van Dyke looking over the top. Doesn't have the pass protection. He needs to get that off. That's big number 95. I think we called his name once already. That's going to be an incompletion. Hit as he threw.
That's Bobby Nash. You know, and as far as where those routes were, I would say, you know, that's probably in the medium to long range.
Yeah.
And as we see, the pressure clock was dinging.
Yeah, Van Dyke has definitely had his clock sped up today. And if it hasn't sped up enough, he's got to speed it up because they have been able to apply pressure to him. Hit as he threw several times. Sacked multiple occasions. 3-by-1 here out of the shotgun. Chaney on the left hip. 5 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap. He's looking, stepping back. Here's the rush. Can he get away from it? He gets it off. It's not a sack, but it's going to be the incompletion. Fourth and 13 at the 41. I think he's in field goal range. I was shocked that he wasn't able to bring him down, and he was able to get that ball off. He might be in no man's land as I see the offense hasn't come off of the field yet.
I think he was wrapped up by the defender. I think he underhanded that ball. I don't know how he flicks that away.
Was
That's
that
unreal.
Was that a Mahomes Madden 24 animation?
Well, I mean, I saw Favre do it 25 years ago, but sure.
Oh, and now we're looking into chat, and it says can't call special teams. And we're going to see a timeout by the Hurricanes as they're trying to get together their units. Ball at the 41. They need 13 yards for a first down. Less than 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Wisconsin will receive the ball coming out of the half. A potential 2-for-1 right here, going into and coming out of the half. Van Dyke all alone right there in the shotgun. Gets the snap, looking back from the logo, over the middle. Finds Slim Thug for a 19-yard reception. The defenders were there. What a ball.
Coverage was good. There was pressure on the play. Slim Thug just kind of stuck his hands out there and was able to come down with it. Really nice play.
Van Dyke highly accurate on that pass when it really mattered, giving Miami still a hope to tie up this game in this first half. Wisconsin looking for another opportunity to force a third turnover early in this matchup. And Van Dyke was not on the field for that snap.
Yeah, that was number 11, Brown.
Is that Ja'Cory Brown? Is that Ja'Cory Brown, sophomore? Ja'Cory Brown?
I believe so.
Don't know what happened to Van Dyke. Interesting to see what will develop up next. Al Ashford with the great tackle. First time I called his name today. bringing down the ball carrier for no gain. Always a good thing when you're facing Miami and the Heisman expectorant. Here's Van Dyke back in the backfield with Chaney. 4 wides from the right hash. 2 minutes on the clock. 2nd and 10. Here's the snap. Finds his man quickly. Keyshawn Smith called his name a few times already today, and that route is going to get them first down yardage, ball at the 7. Paid the price as he got hit hard, but it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, nice job by Van Dyke. He throws a very crisp pass out to Smith.
That one had a little bit of spice on it, man. That one came out a little hot.
And that's how we've seen him. You know, I don't think he was happy about having to miss a play. I think it was just an equipment issue. I don't know if he had a snap break on his helmet or just what, but he was itching to get back out there. Did not like to see anyone take his plays under center.
Van Dyke's got him lined up now. Here's the snap. Hands it to Chaney. Makes a move on one man. Great job by 95. Saves the touchdown right there. He's going to be tackled at the 3. About a minute left, 2nd and goal. And if you're Wisconsin, do you want to start thinking about timeouts?
That's a good question. It depends how much clock Miami's willing to burn here.
Yeah.
And how confident you are in your defense.
It's yeah.
There's probably a number that, you know, coach is thinking of where he wants to stop the clock and save a little bit amount of time, but
they're approaching the line now. Everybody seems to be ready. 4 down linemen, 4 wideouts. Chaney and Van Dyke. Van Dyke from shotgun. It's going to be a read option. Van Dyke's keeping it. He fumbles the ball, and the Wisconsin Badgers pick it up, but then they toss it back. They're going to retain possession as the ball hit the ground a second time, and they recovered it a second time on the same play. 45 seconds, 3 timeouts. Wisconsin has forced their 3rd turnover of the day, and Van Dyke isn't sure what happened.
That was a wild play. I don't know if anybody knows what happened. Ball comes out, you pick it up, you try to pitch it to the fastest guy. It goes anywhere but where you expect it.
Feels like it's been forever since Coles has had the ball. The last time he had the ball, he threw an interception, but Braylon Allen is busting through tacklers right here, carrying defenders, and he has a big gain right there. 20-yard rush by Braylon Allen, takes it up to the 30, where Wisconsin is going to take their first time out, 2 remaining, and 39 seconds left on this clock before the first half is over.
You need to send that man to the grocery store for you. He gets through a crowd like nobody's business.
Coles with the snap. Oh, ducks off a defender. 1 to beat, throws it out of bounds. I thought that halfback was going to pick up that defender that was coming in looking to get a piece of Coles. Still got past the halfback, got a piece of Coles. Coles able to break that tackle, stay on his feet, keep his shoulders lined up and ready to fire, but there was nowhere to go to. He had to throw it away. And we're going to do it all over again here on 2nd and 10 with 32 seconds left. 3-by-1 look. Allen in the backfield. Now 1 wideout comes from left to right. Looks like the tight end Lambert in the slot, number 82. That's Lawson that was just sent over from left to right. Let's see if they go deep on this one. Nope, he doesn't have the pass pro. That's going to be an incompletion, not a sack. 3rd and 10, 27 seconds. The clock has stopped.
And Cole's fortunate to get that ball off.
Cole's looking like he wanted a little bit of an extra, deeper piece on that one. Let his guys get downfield, but that Miami speed is a real thing. Coverage, little bit too much to force the ball into. So Coles and Allen in the backfield. Tight end on the right. From the shotgun. Here's the snap. Coles drifting to the right. Looking downfield. Looking. Here's the pressure. And he's going to get rid of the ball. 3 consecutive incomplete passes. Throwaways, really, as the pressure eventually gets to Coles without his men getting open in the receiving game.
Yeah, but credit Coles for reading downfield. I don't think that there was a real great place to throw that.
Absolutely.
Especially with how this defense can ball hawk.
And what a punt we have right there by the Badgers special teams unit. That's going to flip the field all the way back to the 25-yard line. Miami going to have to go 75 yards to get into the end zone in 15 seconds. They have 2 timeouts, but it's going to have to take some execution to get it done. And the Badgers still have an opportunity here. Shut the door.
They are dangerous. They've got some speed here, this Hurricane offense.
Van Dyke with the pump fake. Dropping way back, has his man. Brinson with an unbelievable catch. 1 man to beat. Brought down at the 11-yard line. Miami with the timeout. 7 seconds on the clock. Romilio Brinson able to locate the ball, spin, and run away from a defender.
Just like that, we'll take 60 yards.
What a throw by Van Dyke. Dropped all the way back. Threw every ounce he had into that one. And now Miami threatening at the 10-yard line. Maybe enough time for 2 plays. Pipchino on the right. Chaney on the left. Restrepo in the slot. LaFleur on the left. Smith on the right. Van Dyke looking. Here's the pass. Picked off. 4th interception on the day. Or 4th turnover on the day. 3 in the air. 1 on the ground. All by Tyler Van Dyke. The Wisconsin Badgers have held up once again. And it looks like they're going to hold on to a 7-point lead as this half is going to come to a close.
What an effort by this Badger defense. Continues
this is
to
looking
bail this
sus,
team out.
Lou. This is looking sus.
Yeah, not a lot of room to give up.
I did not know if they were going to run that or not. It looked like they were going to go with the QB Neal just to kill the clock, but that boy is standing a little bit close to the goal line.
Yeah, maybe just inside the 2.
That was going to be tight. That was going to be a margin call right there. And I think we're probably going to see a handoff here. Coles is going to keep it. He's going to be tackled, and that's the end of the first half. An incredible first half. We thought we were going to see a lot of offense after that first big touchdown score by LaFleur, and no, we were right. We are seeing a ton of defense.
Yeah, this has been really, really interesting. Neither team seems to be able to get away from the other.
So what we're essentially witnessing is Wisconsin was very, very methodical and smart with their first 2 possessions. And after getting their 3rd possession following a turnover, really forced the ball on a 3rd and long into what seemed to be a comeback or a curl route across the field, which 9 Lou picked off and gave a little bit of life back to the Hurricanes, who moved the ball and seemingly were about to score until more pressure on the quarterback forced a crazy 4th down heroic play by Van Dyke. I mean, he was running for his life on that possession. And Brinson with a huge catch, but then ultimately a fumble and another INT, and it's just been turnover city. The defenses are just standing in the way of where guys want to run and where guys want to catch.
Yeah, it's been a great effort by both squads.
Ooh, and the freshman's going to bring it out. Oh, and he's up to the 20.
Nice little wiggle. That young man's going to be dangerous in the future.
He got to the 20 pretty fast, and then there was just nowhere else to go. Good coverage right there by the Hurricanes. Coles was absolutely dominant in his first 2 possessions of the football. Since then, having a little bit more trouble. Let's see how they approach it on this one after the halftime break. Handoff to Allen. Looks like he has some space. Takes on one defender, falls forward. Good 5-yard pickup on first down.
Yeah, taking his time to get up there.
Wisconsin coming out with the 2 tight end set right there. Handing it off to their single back deep. And he was able to make a move. Sometimes he makes a move and breaks a tackle, and that's even more. Definitely had more production so far than the back on the other side. But that man is explosive. We'll see what happens next. Coles breaking out of the pocket, and he's going to be tackled. Hit hard right there. No gain on the play. Number 90. Circle back to get him.
Good pursuit from the defensive line there to finish that play before it got going real good for the Badger offense.
Looked like Coles had set up to throw, and none of his windows were open, so he decided to take off. Excellent pursuit. A lot of men here at the line of scrimmage. See if they test him. Cross the... And it's going to be off the hands of Lawson. In and out of his possession. It's going to fall down on the ground. 4th and 5. And Miami seems like they're going to be stepping up to a 3-and-out here at the very beginning of the second half.
Yeah, credit these Hurricanes. They came out with a nice adjustment at halftime, and they had enough pressure on Coles in the offense to keep them from getting a first down.
Punter back deep. Has the snap. Same angle we saw last time. Let's see if he's able to flip the field. Think the last one might have been a little bit better, but this one's still good. 35-yard line. That's where Miami's going to take over. If we're Miami, do we need Chaney to step up a little bit here, as Van Dyke has been able to play some hero ball, but then not able to carry the entire team over his back across to the finish line? Or will Van Dyke shake off whatever he has been holding him back from scoring?
Yeah,
finishing
that's a really
scoring
good
drive.
Question.
Yeah,
it might take a little bit from everybody.
Smith in motion. Restrepo still to the left. You got Pipchino and LaFleur out there still. Van Dyke looking. He's going to Restrepo. Spin move back inside. One man to beat. Knocks him out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. It's going to be the 22. 1st and goal. Big play right there by the Canes.
Yeah, Restrepo gets it done. Not the flashiest receiver on this squad, but always seems to get his name in the stat line.
Let's see if Chaney gets his hands on it. Van Dyke making many adjustments. Restrepo moving his slot from right to left. Chaney does get the carry. He's hitting the backfield. His wiggle, his strength, his speed gets him 3 yards, but not a big run right there for Chaney. He's been mostly bottled up in this one.
Yeah, the Badgers have had a nice game plan to limit what Chaney's been able to do, and it's also been able to apply pressure to Van Dyke in the process. So if that rush is able to continue to get home, it'll stay tight here.
Van Dyke making a couple adjustments. Tries to get him with the hard snap. Or the hard count. Van Dyke over the middle to Restrepo on a quick slant. And he's going to have first down yardage. He was hit hard by the UW defender there. Held on, strong hands. First and goal at the 9.
Yeah, really nice job to get past the line to gain. And then catch that ball.
As we've seen so many times before, can Wisconsin be tough here in the red zone? Two tights. Hand off to Chaney, looking for the edge. Breaks it back to the inside. Almost slithers his way all the way to the end zone. Going to be brought down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. They're spotted in at the 3.
Yeah, that's a nice play.
Wisconsin real tough here around the goal line. And Miami not the best at goal line offense. Offset eye here. Wides are real tight. Brantley, the fullback, checks in. Van Dyke from under center with Chaney deep behind him. And he's going to want to flip it to the other side. And they're going to go to that side. And Chaney's going to follow his fullback and tight end right into the end zone. Miami, one extra point away from tying this up in the middle of the 3rd.
Nice job by Van Dyke to flip the play to where he had numbers.
So after all that, Lou, we're back to 0-0.
Oof. It doesn't feel like 0-0.
I don't think so at all either. I think my heart rate has been a little elevation sensation in this one. Borregales with the kickoff. He's usually good for kicking it out of the back of the end zone. Freshman's not going to have a chance in there. The equipment man, once again. Why do we have to do that to that beautiful uniform?
I don't know. Get all that red and white paint on it.
I know he's a
Grass
freshman.
stains.
He's just a kid. Have some respect, young man.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd absolutely rocking right now. They need to settle down so that they can hear the snap. Coles wants an adjustment on the right. Tight end to the left. Allen's going to follow him. One man to beat. And he does. He's all the way across the 50. Up to the 45. A big user gain right there. And the Wisconsin Badgers with 100 yards on the ground today.
Great run by Braylon Allen, using that little head fake and stutter step. You don't expect a 240-pound man to,
Unbelievable move on the safety.
to have the wiggles like that.
And you love how he
gets you
just
off balance and then he throws you to the ground.
Yeah, he took the handoff, ran right where he was supposed to go, made his move right when he was supposed to make it. Hard to bring down, fought for extra yardage. Great scheme, great execution. Coles trying to break out of that pocket right, feels the pressure once again, finds a man. That's Jackson Acker. And he's going to be across the 40. 6-yard gain, that's at the 38.
Nice job by the fullback there, whose job was to just find a little hole in that zone and sit. Be a safety valve.
Acker's still in there with Allen. A lot of guys at the line of scrimmage right now for the Canes. You know who? Lurkin. Furious Johnson almost got off his block. Huff comes knifing in for the tackle. But still a first down for Braylon Allen.
Yeah, even though he got the tackle, it was just, he only got enough of Braylon Allen to make him stumble and fall down. He still picked up 3 yards after that hit.
Ball at the 33, less than 3 left to play in the 3rd quarter. From the right hash, we got 3 wides and a tight. Single back, Allen right behind Coles. Coles gets the snap, Surveying, halfback screen, might have a couple blockers. Nice job right there by Furious Johnson and number 16 to bring him down after just 3. Looked like it was more promising when he first had it.
Yeah, not a ton of room over on that sideline, and Braylon Allen did a nice job to cut upfield, but the pursuit by the Hurricane defense was right on point.
Credit the athleticism, but not a bad call to go for the halfback screen right there. Almost broke it. Inside the 30-yard line now. Tight end to the right. Coles and Allen. Hand off to Allen. He's going to be tackled after a 2-yard pickup. Good job by the defender to stay home and then explode through the ball carrier. 3rd and 5 at the 27. Crowd getting a little uneasy right now as it is a 3rd down. Wisconsin trying to answer back to the 7 points that Miami just put on. Coles looking, finds a wide open man, and he makes a man miss. Shoestring tackle once again, brought down at about the 13-yard line.
Yeah, really nice footwork. I think that's Jackson, the tight end.
Crame on a crossing route, started off on the right, worked his way over to the left, past 2 defenders. Shoestring tackle, otherwise he would have probably been inside the 5. Band is absolutely killing it today. Gonna wear those drumsticks out. 4 wides. Shotgun. Coles with Allen. Huff. Dunson moving. Hand off left tackle. Allen, 1 man to beat. Almost beat him. 21 with a good tackle. It's going to be 2nd and 1 at the 4.
Braylon Allen just follows his blockers right there. Easy 9 yards.
Great job by the big men up front. Getting the work done here. As Wisconsin really needed this offensive production. Haven't been this deep into Miami territory for a while. And coming off of the touchdown that Miami just had, would love to answer back. Tight end in motion. Hand off to the freshman. He's going to be stood up and brought down. It's going to be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe lost a few inches there.
Might not have inches to spare.
No kidding. That's with the speed of these defenses.
Coles looking, breaking, under pressure, throws it away, out of bounds. That's a souvenir, folks. 4th and 2, and that's the end of your 3rd quarter. Get your 4s ready, chat. We are going to have an absolutely epic finish to this one.
Yeah, the intensity level has been all the way up with the opening kickoff. Facing a 4th and 2 here, taking their time.
Yeah. Shout out to the fantastic duo in the chat. The Olympic international gold medalist. Coles dropping back. Fires. And it's going to be incomplete. Turnover on downs at the 4-yard line. Miami backed up way deep. Wisconsin might be looking to run downhill.
Yeah, terrific stand there by that Hurricane defense. Backed all the way up.
Absolutely a Randy's wheelbarrow moment, fam. Agreed. Van Dyke from under center. 4 bunch tight. Oh, we got Cheney with the handoff. It's only going to be a 2-yard carry. Nice job by the Badgers there. Looked like he was dropping back to pass, and at the last second gave it to Cheney on the delayed handoff.
Yeah, a little late draw play.
Gonna move it a little bit.
Trying to mix it up, yeah.
Gonna move it a little bit here. It's out at the 6, almost the 7. We got Trips bunch way out there left. Cheney over to the right. Van Dyke from his own goal line, from his own end zone. Over to Restrepo, just past the defense. Defense was in the area. Perfect ball by Van Dyke. Gets over the defense's head. Ball's going to be down at the 25-yard line. Move the sticks for the Hurricanes.
Great job to get out from under the shadow of the goalpost there.
Shadow Man?
Mm-hmm.
Liam Neeson? Shadow?
He's got a unique set of skills.
Van Dyke and Cheney. Everybody else is out wide. Pimpchino in the left slot. UW, user defender, lurking over the middle. Here's a snap. Looking. Finds Cheney out of the backfield. Cheney tries that spin move. And he's going to be hit down hard. Number 21 with a good tackle. 5-yard pickup on the play.
Miami finding their groove here, it looks like.
Sense of excitement and wonderment in the crowd tonight. Number 1 versus number 3. Van Dyke and Cheney. Smith, Restrepo, Pimpchino, LaFleur. About 5 on the play clock. Here's the snap. Drops back, 3-step drop. Quick hitter to Restrepo over the middle. First down.
Restrepo's caught about 4 first downs today. Just making big plays is all.
This possession began at the 4-yard line. They're out to the 41. Still over 5 minutes left to play in this one. Can Miami milk 5 minutes off the clock and score to end it? Remains to be seen. Van Dyke drops back, finds Cheney on a screen pass. So wiggly, so hard to bring down. And I think he's on the ground, Lou. I think he's hurt. I think Cheney's out of the game. This might be Parrish. We might be seeing Parrish, who would be absolutely a speed demon for the Hurricanes and could do anything you ask him to. But is he Cheney, the Heisman Trophy candidate? Is it on Van Dyke now? Or is Parrish going to help him get out of it? Is Cheney going to be back? Pimpchino right there. Hand down. Hand off to Parrish. He's going to be across the sticks. Johnson can't bring him down. And Parrish almost breaks through the last defender. As it is, it's a 1st and 10. Probably about a 20-yard gain. Ball at the 29 with 4 minutes left.
Yeah, the plot thickens. Parrish should be able to step in and do, 90% of what Cheney can do. He just doesn't have quite the track record this season or the attempts.
Haven't seen an update yet, but that's Parrish still in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to him. Counter run, makes a move. Good tackle right there by number 21. Limits him to 7. Still a good pickup by Parrish. You saw the speed on display there.
Yeah, plenty of wiggle.
Yeah, that big left tackle got out there. I thought he was going to be able to put a block on him. Parrish ran right past him very aggressively to make a move on that man. Great tackle right there. Ball now at the 22-yard line. 3.5 left to play in this one. 4 wides out of shotgun. Van Dyke adjusts them. Parrish still there, protecting his right side. Van Dyke gets the snap. Parrish on a route. Halfback angle route. Covered beautifully by the user. User got turned around. Parrish got turned around. Somehow it's still going to be first down yardage. Ball to 18. And in these long drives like this, Lou, everybody's starting to get tired and look tired.
Absolutely.
I think 2 minutes have come off. I think this drive's been about over 2 minutes long and almost about 80 yards now.
Mm-hmm.
Hand off to Parrish off the left side. Should have been brought down in the backfield. Step back when he didn't need it, and it's going to be a first down inside the 10-yard line for the Hurricanes.
Well, I'm not sure about that 5 minutes, but they're going to take a lot of this clock.
You sure about that 5 minutes?
Drive.
You sure about that 5 minutes?
Could have been mistaken.
Shout out my cousin Vinny, Joe Pesci. Franklin Jr. spinning his way down to the 1-yard line. Miami getting super slithery right now.
Badgers are hunkering down. But how much can they withstand?
How much can Miami run off of this clock? Ball already at the 1, 2nd and goal. What's their mindset here? Are they just going to try to punch it in here and play defense? Or are they going to try to milk this a little bit more and get cute? They've already had 1 turnover right here at the goal line when Van Dyke fumbled the read option after taking a hit. Offset eye, tight end and fullback on the same side. Hand off to Parrish, looking for the outside, and he's going to have it. Tackled as he broke the plane.
Very well defensed by the Badgers. But not much you can do there against these Hurricanes.
Really important extra point here. And Brown holds it well as Borregales puts it up and in. 2 minutes on the clock here. Montrezl Coles and his unit has 3 timeouts. Coach Brusoe finding the nearest clipboard, drawing it up as we speak, as here is the kick from Borregales. And it's going to hit the crossbar. And that's going to mean that Wisconsin's going to get it at the 25-yard line.
Montrezl Coles in a 2-minute drill now.
And that's what we like to see. Coles with Allen right behind him. Acker right behind the tackle. Coles got all kinds of turned around and threw it right into the defender Montgomery's hands. He's racing across the 20 down to the 15, the 14. What happened, Lou? It looked like he got all kinds of turned around and still fired the ball. A tragic turnover here late in the game in Camp Randall. Does Wisconsin's defense, who was rushing to get their helmets to get onto the field, do they have one more set of heroics in them? Parrish, he's going to probably find pay dirt. And now Miami's going up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, crazy turn of events here. 2 touchdowns in nearly as many seconds. I mean, it seems like around here your luck can change just that quickly. Coles finds Lawson now. Badgers hurry to put anything together. Goes to Lawson again, another first down. Trying to move down the field without taking up any time. First down, Skylar Bell. Minute 9 remaining. Coles throws it away. 2nd and 10 at the 23. Sacked. Wisconsin will burn a timeout. 58 seconds remaining from the 33. Batted down, brings up 4th and 20. Turnover on downs, that should about do it here. I imagine we'll see a couple of runs or a couple of kneels. We'll get one more play in. And that'll about do it. Final today is going to be 28-14 in favor of Miami. All right, let's get Coach Revamp in here. Congratulations, Coach. How did we put this?
Honestly, first thing I'd like to say is apologize to Coach Brusoe because the way I acted there at the end, emotions and just adrenaline and shit just got the best of me. I mean, I don't have no excuse. I shouldn't act that way towards my boy Brusoe. He's a good guy, and I wasn't, just got caught up in the moment. Yeah.
No, I mean, it was a great game, super intense.
Yeah, it was, man. That shit had me up against the ropes big time. Like, big time,
Yeah, he had you under pressure a lot of the day. The whole first half didn't go your way. But even through all that, you're able to overcome. So,
well, yeah, it's one of those things, I already knew coming to the week it was going to be a tough week. Every time I play Brusoe, it's one of those games. He's got one of those defenses it's really hard to crack. I can't run on it. Parrish Parrish ran better than Cheney did, and Cheney died at some point, and that had me all shook too. So
I was going to say, when he takes away Cheney, what do you do to counteract that?
I was trying to just come out and pass it. I was like, let me just put it on Van Dyke because I knew he's going to come out and try to stop Cheney. That's his usual game plan. It's a smart game plan because everybody knows I love to just feed him the ball as much as I can. And early on in the game, it wasn't going my way. I think I threw all 3 interceptions in the first half. I'm not 100%, but I threw 3 interceptions. I fumbled the ball on the goal line. It was just felt like no matter what I did, I just could not get a damn touchdown for the longest. And I just had to try to figure something out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, looks like you've got some time to figure stuff out. A lot of bye weeks next week. And then I think you've got Bowen. You go to Florida State. So
yeah,
any
that's
plans for
another
that
fucking.
matchup?
That's just once again just another slobber knocker, especially a conference match. It's the first conference match I have. Anytime me and Cincy play anything, whether it's MLB, Madden, NCAA, it's usually a fucking slobber knocker. I'm expecting this one to be the same. I think you said we're going there. I think we are going there. So, he's going to be ready to welcome me, and hopefully we can get a conference win.
Mm-hmm. Well, George, you got anything for Coach Revamp? Otherwise, go celebrate with the team.
Good game, Coach.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Pimp. And Bruce, I appreciate you too, Pimp. Like I said, my bad, fellas, the way I got a little carried away celebrating there at the end.
We know there's a lot of pressure on winners to keep winning.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Bristol's a hell of a fucking player, man, and his team is getting better and better and better every year. And I was at a point where I wanted to not concede, but in my head I was like, damn, this might be the fucking one. Like, And I felt like I had to battle through a bunch of shit. The goal line fumble, just me throwing dumbass picks. He played great defense. Cheney getting hurt kind of fucked me for a minute, but like I said, I appreciate y'all, Pimps, though.
For sure. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, pal.
All right, Coach Brusoe, walk us through that a little bit. Really gutsy performance today.
Yeah, first things first. The better guy won. The game wasn't this close in the second half. Let's just get that straight. The only like I said, he won. I'm not mad about that. Like he said, he apologized for it. That's just not how I operate business, right? And to do this IRL and kind of see that, kind of grinding my gears the wrong way, to say the least. But I'll get over it. It's fine. It happens. Emotions run hot, right? I mean, shit, I was telling you guys before, IRL, what's going on in practice sometimes. So it shouldn't, it's just another deal sometimes. But anyways, we came out hot. We moved the ball really well on the ground. Felt like we got too cute in the second half and tried to just throw the ball against this dangerous secondary, which did not do well. Braylon Allen only got the ball 11 times, but he ran the ball for almost 8 yards of carry. So, you could say the heat of the moment kind of got me off from a game plan standpoint. So, better team won, even though defense played about as well as they could. But when the offense stopped moving the ball, you can't expect them to do very well against a 2-time defending champs.
Yeah, well, exciting game. It was really intense, really fun to watch. I think you've got a computer game against Minnesota next week. And then I don't know after that. What's the plan for the rest of the season as we get into conference play?
Right. So we got 3 straight computer games, and then we have, I believe, North Carolina whenever we get back to rolling against user teams. So innovative offensive mind Von has. I think we've only played once before, but that was kind of a fluke if you ask me. Kane Ingram, which is a newbie, kind of took care of business in an upset role, but that was so long ago. Everything like that. There's a lot more film in what we do, so we're just gonna kind of, as the IRL football season starts, guys. That's kind of why I got a little hot myself tomorrow night for me. So as things go forward in this, we'll try to stay on top of it as much as we can, but IRL football is going to take precedent going forward.
We understand. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Coach. George, you got anything for Coach before we get out of here?
Coach, your team looks scary there for a second. And what the hell happened on that interception?
He got either bumped or something, and he spun around like a top and threw the ball late, which you can't do. Both interceptions today were late. Which the first one, I'll take it. That's been a dumb decision, trying to fit the ball into a needle hole. Second one, I just don't know what happened. Kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Well, if there is a rematch, sign me up. Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you tomorrow.
Appreciate you. Thanks for producing. Good job, Tim.
Well, Lou, another one in the books. MWO never ceases to amaze us, man. And at the end of the day, I hope, we could continue to be this family, man. And this is absolutely a fucking legendary tape to roll to watch, man. I mean, at one point, Wisconsin looked unbeatable, man. And, I mean, you take away a couple plays and they maybe even get out to a big lead in this one. And I don't know, man. This is weird. I mean, the way it ended with that interception, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great persistence. On Miami, they hung around with, the Badgers came out with a great onslaught, but they weren't really able to pull away. And, this Miami team is good enough to hang around and make something happen in the end. So
it got really hard to throw on them, like, all of a sudden. Like, Miami is just like, it was the no-fly zone there for a second. And
it's like the hurricane winds picked up. You're trying to throw into them, like
it was really strange, man. But these two coaches, man, they're showing why, they're at the top of our league right now. So this was fun. Thanks for jumping on this with me, and we're gonna see everybody next time. We don't know when that is. We got a lot of CPU games coming up. Maybe we got a Von Jimmy game coming up. Don't know.
Yeah, hopefully early next week we